On behalf of the Pan American School of Bahia, I, secondary school principal, would like to welcome to you and to our 2026 graduation ceremony. Please take check are turned off to avoid any interruptions during the event. We'd like today is being live streamed on our school's official YouTube channel, allowing friends and family who cannot be here to still be part of this special moment. By you acknowledge that photos and video footage may be taken and shared for educational and celebratory purposes. Thank you for being part of this
Nas margens plácidas de povo heróico, brado retumbante, e o sol da liberdade em raios fúlgidos brilhou no céu da pátria nesse instante. Se o penhor dessa igualdade conseguimos conquistar com um braço forte, em teu seio, ó liberdade, desafia o nosso peito à própria morte. O pátria amada, idolatrada, salve, salve, Brasil, som intenso, raio vívido, de amor e de esperança a terra desce, sem teu formoso céu risonho e límpido, a imagem do cruzeiro resplandece, gigante pela própria natureza, és bela, és forte, pávido, colosso, sim, teu futuro espelha essa grandeza, terra adorada, entre outras mil, és do Brasil, a pátria amada, dos filhos desse sol, és mãe, gentil, pátria amada, Brasil. We're so carefully stream, and the rockets rattling, the bombs burst in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, their star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We would like to invite Ms. Gianna Mesquita Cavalcanti, President of Trustees, to deliver her speech.
Amigos, educadores, membros do Conselho e toda a comunidade da PASB. É uma honra imensa estar aqui hoje, em nome do Board of Trustees da Pan American School of Bahia, para celebrar a formatura da turma de 2026. Este é um momento que marca o fim de uma etapa importante, mas mais do que isso, abre portas para novos começos e infinitas possibilidades. Hoje, celebramos vocês, graduandos, por tudo que conquistaram até aqui e por tudo que ainda vão conquistar. Ao olhar para vocês aqui sentados, é impossível não voltar no tempo, voltar para os primeiros dias no ICC, pequenos, curiosos, às vezes inseguros, descobrindo o mundo, um passo de cada vez. Talvez com mochilas maiores do que vocês. Talvez com lágrimas nos olhos no começo do dia. E sorrisos no final. E de alguma forma, essa jornada continua viva na memória de todos nós. Porque crescer na PASB nunca foi apenas sobre aprender dentro de salas. Foi sobre os Field Days, dias em que a energia era contagiante, que vivíamos a escola de uma forma diferente, com amigos e família lado a lado. Foi sobre os NRs, os acampamentos esportivos intensos e cheios de energia, onde competição e colaboração caminhavam lado a lado, e onde vocês aprenderam que ganhar é bom, mas jogar juntos é ainda melhor. Foi sobre o musical, um projeto lindo, construído com dedicação, talento e trabalho em equipe, onde vimos alunos brilharem no palco e encantarem toda a comunidade com sua arte. Foi sobre experiências como o MUN e projetos sociais, onde vocês encontraram sua voz, defenderam ideias e começaram a entender o papel que podem exercer no mundo. Dentre tantos outros momentos e projetos incríveis que fazem a PASB um lugar único, onde amizades se fortaleceram seu lugar no mundo, e é isso que celebramos. Não apenas o fim de uma etapa, mas tudo o que acontece de paz, uma instituição sem fins lucrativos, construídas por famílias, para famílias, e isso faz toda a diferença. Ao escolherem a PASB, cada família aqui assumiu um papel ativo, não apenas no processo educacional dos seus filhos, mas na construção diária de uma comunidade de aprendizado. Aqui, pais não são apenas responsáveis pelas mensalidades, são parceiros, conselheiros, voluntários, líderes, são presença constante, muitas vezes silenciosas por trás de cada conquista. Como escola, temos o compromisso de oferecer essa formação globalmente acolhedor, mas é na que nos permite ir além do convencional. Aqui, as decisões são feitas pensando no que é melhor para o propósito, a missão e há valores que orientam cada passo que damos. O resultado está aqui diante de nós, uma turma preparada para o mundo, que pensa com profundidade, que age com responsabilidade, que sonha com coragem. Ao longo dessa jornada, vocês foram desafiados a explorar seu potencial ilimitado e abraçar oportunidades excepcionais. Mas, mais importante que isso, vocês aprenderam a viver valores, aprenderam a agir com integridade, a liderar com responsabilidade, a colaborar com respeito, a manter a mente aberta, a cultivar a gentileza. E esses valores não ficaram apenas nas palavras. Eles estiveram presentes em cada jogo, em cada projeto, em cada desafio, em cada conquista compartilhada. Graduandos, ao saírem daqui hoje, vocês levam muito mais do que um diploma. Vocês levam histórias, levam amizades, levam experiências que moldaram quem vocês são. E levam, principalmente, a certeza de que são capazes de fazer a diferença. Sejam agentes de mudança, construtores de pontes, líderes com propósito. E antes de terminar, quero compartilhar algo pessoal com vocês. Eu também já estive aí, como aluna da PAN, como chamávamos carinhosamente na minha época. Sou alumna da PASB. Caminhei por esses corredores, vivi amizades que carrego até hoje, enfrentei desafios e celebrei conquistas, como vocês estão fazendo agora. Segui meu caminho, me formei, me especializei, construí minha carreira, me casei e a vida me trouxe de volta. Hoje, como mãe de 3 filhos, todos os alunos da escola e como membro do Board of Trustees. Tenho o privilégio de continuar fazendo parte dessa comunidade que tanto significa para mim. Voltar à PASB é, para mim, muito mais do que um acaso. É um ato de amor. Acredito profundamente na força transformadora da educação que vivemos aqui e, sobretudo, no poder da colaboração genuína, aquela que nasce do envolvimento, do compromisso coletivo e do desejo sincero de construir juntos um ambiente onde cada aluno possa explorar o seu potencial ilimitado. E nunca se esqueçam, once a Panther, always a Panther.
Uma vez Panther, sempre Panther.
Vocês passam a fazer parte, para sempre, da comunidade de alunos e à distância. Um título vitalício, que, graças a Deus, vem sem IB Exams, sem Extended Essays, com muito orgulho. Congratulations, class of...
Meus
The senior start this evening by treating all present with a song prepared for a momentous occasion. I am Carneiro, Julia Candace, Mariana Almeida, and Gabriela Paz forward and share this beautiful music.
Tá sem retorno. Tá sem retorno. Tá sem retorno. É pra os cantores ouvirem. Já aumentei tudo.
Maravilhoso. Muito obrigado, Tiago, Júlia, Mariana, Gabriela.
To deliver the Anita Barreto Legacy Award. Would you like it like this?
Boa noite mais uma vez. Nesse momento tão especial, temos a oportunidade de reconhecer Anita é uma mãe extraordinária, que desde a época em que suas filhas estudavam aqui, teve uma atuação marcante na vida escolar, sempre presente, sempre engajada, sempre disposta a construir. E é esse justamente o espírito que este prêmio busca reconhecer. Pessoas que não apenas fazem parte da escola, mas que ajudam a construí-la. Nesse ano, temos a alegria de reconhecer duas mulheres que juntas representam de forma muito especial esse espírito. Ana Carolina Soares Brito e Gisela Vilas Boas Maron. Elas são mães da nossa escola, parceiras constantes e, acima de tudo, exemplos vivos de colaboração e generosidade. Como arquitetas, elas encontraram uma forma única e profundamente significativa de contribuir com a nossa comunidade. Elas doaram tempo, talento e olhar. E transformaram espaços, mas não apenas espaços físicos. Transformaram experiências. E tudo começou com um convite. Tivemos a ideia de construir uma library no Pasbinha. A escola buscou alguns orçamentos no mercado, mas quando recebemos as propostas, percebemos que faltava algo. Faltava alma. Foi então que eu convidei as duas e lancei, ao mesmo tempo, um pedido e um desafio. Criar o coração da nossa escola em um espaço onde seus próprios filhos viviam todos os dias. Expliquei os detalhes, o significado, o impacto que aquilo poderia ter. E elas não apenas abraçaram a ideia, elas foram além, muito além. Elas não entregaram apenas um projeto, elas entregaram carinho, aconchego e amor. E esse foi só o começo. Vieram o Makerspace do Pasbinha, o College Hub do Pasbão, o retrofit da Library do Pasbão, que está em execução nesse momento, e tantos outros projetos pensados com o mesmo cuidado, com o mesmo olhar sensível, com o mesmo compromisso. Inclusive ideias que ainda estão por vir, como o Parent Lounge no Front Gate, o Waiting Spot no Back Gate, e estudos para melhorias no Pasbinha. Cada um desses projetos carrega algo em comum: intenção, presença e um profundo senso de pertencimento. Porque quando alguém oferece seu talento dessa forma, não está apenas contribuindo com a escola, está dizendo: eu faço parte disso, eu acredito nisso, eu quero construir isso junto. Ana Carolina e Gisela, o que vocês fazem vai além da contribuição. É parceria verdadeira, é generosidade em ação. É comunidade no seu sentido mais bonito. Vocês deixam uma marca concreta na nossa escola, nos espaços, nas experiências e na forma como todos nós vivemos a PASB. Em nome do Board of Trustees e da equipe da PASB e de toda a nossa comunidade, é com enorme gratidão, admiração e carinho que anunciamos vocês como as ganhadoras do Prêmio Anita Barreto Lagesse de 2026. Parabéns e muito obrigada por o que vocês fazem e por tudo o que vocês representam para a nossa comunidade que tanto nos orgulha. Venham aqui receber seu prêmio, por favor.
colocar, vou colocar. Pronto, obrigada. Deixa eu pegar o meu aí. Boa noite a todos. Meu nome é Gisela, eu sou mãe de Joaquim, do Year 1, e de Matheus, do Pre-K4. E receber esse reconhecimento é uma grande honra, mas, acima de tudo, é um momento de gratidão. A arquitetura me ensinou que os espaços têm o poder de transformar experiências, criar encontros e fortalecer vínculos, mas nenhum anda sozinho. Quando existe um propósito coletivo por trás. Fazer parte de pais que acredita no potencial da nossa escola e trabalha para que ela seja cada vez melhor é algo que me inspira e me ensina todos os dias. Eu e Ana aqui representando não contribuíram diretamente para esses projetos, mas também todos e colaboradores que se dedicam, vibram e trabalham para que cada conquista da nossa escola aconteça. Agradeço à escola pela confiança e por nos permitir fazer parte dessa construção. Que possamos continuar construindo juntos não apenas espaços, mas também memórias, valores e oportunidades para que nossos filhos cresçam em uma comunidade cada vez mais forte, acolhedora e inspiradora. Muito obrigada.
Boa noite, me chamo Ana Carolina, sou mãe de Matheus, do Year 4, Gabriel, do Year 2, e hoje falo como ex-aluna e aproveito para parabenizar a turma de 2026. Há 21 anos eu estava exatamente aí onde vocês estão hoje, vivendo esse misto de emoções. Parte de mim pensava, o que será de mim sem a Pan-Americana? E a outra metade estava ansiosa para viver novas experiências. 21 anos depois, estou aqui, como mãe de 2 alunos, como parte ativa dessa comunidade e recebendo esse reconhecimento que me deixa profundamente honrada. Se estou aqui, é porque decidi retribuir. A PAN me deu educação, amizades duradouras e, acima de tudo, como diz Giana, senso de pertencimento. Então, seniors, está na hora de vocês desbravarem o mundo, viver novas experiências e aproveitar muito a juventude. Mas lembrem-se que a alma da escola só continua viva quando seus ex-alunos viram parte dela de novo, seja como pais, mentores, doadores e voluntários. Não importa a forma. As portas estarão abertas, pois aqui sempre será a casa de vocês. Parabéns e obrigada mais uma vez pela indicação. Vou botar o celular aqui, ó, gente.
Obrigado, Diana, Ana Carolina,
For the
Gisela.
award, and thank you again for all that you have done for our school. The class of 26 voted on 2 faculty to address them tonight. Mr. Isaias Torres, PASB's IB History and TOK teacher, who is completing his 4th year at PASB, and Mr. Carlos Brito, the school's IB Brazilian Social Studies teacher, who is completing his 4th year at PASB. Let's now welcome Mr. Isaias Torres to the podium.
Hey guys. Okay. Oh, I did this wrong. All right. So some of you might have requested to be the faculty speaker tonight because tonight, after 17 years of teaching high
De 14 anos de ensinar na grade school, Escuta bem, estou graduando. Eu quero começar exatamente desta forma. Né? Boa noite, classe. Agora sim, vamos começar. Salvador vai mudá-los. Eu disse casualmente a duas novas professoras que tinham acabado de se mudar para Estela Maris. Depois de uma pausa dramática, acrescente, se vocês me permitirem. Naquela época, eu já morava em Salvador há 2 anos e já tinha experimentado muito crescimento e transformação. Mas os 2 anos seguintes foram ainda mais transformadores. Hoje à noite eu quero contar a vocês sobre algum desses momentos que me ajudaram a me libertar da rigidez e me tornar quem sou hoje. O primeiro foi 11 de agosto de 2023. Estávamos há menos de 2 meses no início do ano letivo e eu estava tendo a pior experiência da minha vida como professor. Saí da minha última escola sentindo que tinha domínio sobre a gestão da sala de aula, eu era admirado e respeitado pelos meus alunos e me considerava um professor muito eficaz. Na época, a minha filosofia era que eu deveria moldar os jovens no tipo de aluno que eu considerava ideal. Um problema com esse plano é que esse grupo da PASB era inflexível. Em sua teimosia inabalável, fui eu quem acabou sendo forçado a mudar. Éramos 2 forças opostas se encontrando no centro. Como ensina meu psicólogo favorito,
space created in this tension. Most could be described as intense, as an intention. I was truly shocked at the disregard for normal classroom expectations, like arriving, listening, speaking, and not interrupting the class for personal reasons. On August 11th, I was dejected, but a little hopeful because I knew that my niece would be born that day. While waiting for that phone call, I decided to go into the ocean by my house around sunset. I cautiously waded into the ocean until I remembered that the best way to get into the water is just to dive in. So that's what I did. I let the waves wash over me and melt away the tension. As I emerged, I looked around and saw the most beautiful sky with jaw-dropping pinks, purples, blues, oranges, and reds. I cupped my hands around my mouth and realized that my rigidity was a problem. I was causing myself to suffer by holding on to the images of myself and what my classes should be like. I knew then that I was going to have to be the one that changes. When I got home, my sister called to tell me my niece had been born. Hearing the good news, I just started crying. Confused, she asked me, "Are you okay?" And through the tears, all I could say was, "Yes, it is all just so beautiful." Our school year gradually improved after that, but it wasn't. And that's the truth about true transformation. It isn't a single event. It is a slow breaking down of the wall around you over a lifetime. Major moments of transition continued throughout their 10th and 11th grades, but the deepest transformations happened this year. At the very beginning of the school year, Ested asked me if they were my favorite class. So I tried to avoid answering the question. The next day, along the coast at sunset, the sky was glowing, and as I drove past Patamares, a flood of images of this class flashed through my mind. I realized how much we had grown together over those 3 years. I thought about called me out for being rude. Thank you. Or smiles and when Tiago masterfully demonstrated what courage actually looked like in his TEDx speech. I were in fact my teachers, or better teachers. I've said PASB is like a master course in spiritual growth and healing. This entire group of students has been my master. And I say master because a teacher is something. A master is one who helps you to unlearn all that you have already learned. I have much from them, and I'm so much wiser for that. And finally, this year was when I finally understood what saudade means. According to Brazilians, this concept can't be translated. And at first, but I think that I got it. On that, I was really emotional after Julia mentioned that she was going to miss my 3 good breaths. After tearful short breath work, I opened up to them about what a joy it is to be their teacher and what joy teaching is. I'm so grateful for this profession that has allowed me to continue my love of learning, take me around the world, and inspire young people. That afternoon, while walking my dogs, I started crying again, and this time it was big sobs. I know saudade is a positive missing. It is a bittersweet ache of honoring the time and space you were lucky enough to share with someone. I'll miss this group terribly. But I'm filled with saudade because what we had was so real. Maria Clara Fonseca thanked me for showing her that people really can change, and that I was proof of that. I feel like a new person leaving Salvador. I want you all to leave today knowing that transformation is possible. It starts with attention, but the space that emerges between them contains all the possibilities of a beautiful life, but only if you learn to let go and let it happen. Thank you all. I love you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Isaias. Let's now welcome Mr. Carlos Brito to the podium.
Boa noite a todos. Como é difícil estar aqui, viu? Não pelas palavras, mas pelo fato de, em uns minutos, eu tenho que compartilhar tudo que nós compartilhamos juntos aqui, né? E eu quero agradecer aos meus colegas, todos aqui. Certo? Boa noite. Eu queria começar de algo que ainda está acontecendo, mas que de alguma forma já começa a se despedir. Porque formatura tem esse efeito curioso, né? Ela não marca apenas um fim, ela revela o quanto algo foi importante enquanto existia. E olhando para vocês hoje, é impossível não sentir isso. Foram 3 anos, desde o Year 10, 3 anos acompanhando cada etapa, cada mudança, cada insegurança, cada conquista. E o que começou com uma relação entre professor e alunos, aos poucos foi se transformando em algo muito maior. Porque com o tempo vocês deixaram de ser apenas nomes na chamada. Vocês se tornaram histórias, vocês se tornaram conversas depois das aulas, se tornaram preocupações silenciosas, se tornaram orgulho. E eu digo isso com toda a sinceridade. Em muitos momentos eu não me senti apenas como um professor. Eu me senti como alguém que cuida, que orienta, que cobra, que celebra. Algo entre um pai e uma mãe. Porque educar de verdade exige vínculo, né? E vínculo não se constrói sem afeto. O filósofo Aristóteles dizia que educar a mente sem educar o coração não é educação. E se existe algo que me marca profundamente nessa turma, é justamente isso. Vocês nunca foram intelectualmente capazes, vocês foram humanos. Vocês encerraram, vocês erraram, vocês acertaram, vocês duvidaram de si mesmos em alguns momentos e ainda assim continuaram. E isso tem muito valor. Como professor de História e Filosofia, eu não consigo deixar de olhar para esse momento também com um olhar histórico. O historiador Eric Hobsbawm dizia que vivemos em uma era de transformações rápidas, em que o presente muitas vezes parece desconectado do passado. Mas ele também nos lembra que compreender a nossa trajetória é essencial para agir no mundo com consciência. E vocês estão exatamente nesse ponto de transição. Vocês estão deixando de ser parte de uma estrutura guiada, escola, rotina, horários, para entrar em um mundo onde as escolhas são mais abertas e, ao mesmo tempo, muito mais exigentes. Agora vocês estão diante de algo novo, um mundo que se abre de forma concreta. Muitos de vocês vão estudar fora do país, vão viver em outras culturas, outros idiomas, outros contextos. Outros seguirão seus caminhos aqui, construindo suas trajetórias no Brasil. Mas, independentemente de onde estejam, existe uma pergunta que vai acompanhar todos vocês. Quem vocês escolhem ser? O filósofo Sócrates nos deixou uma provocação que atravessa séculos, né? Conhece-te a ti mesmo. E pode parecer simples, mas não é. Porque o mundo lá fora é barulhento. Ele oferece caminhos prontos, respostas rápidas, padrões de sucesso que nem sempre fazem sentido. E no meio disso tudo, manter a própria identidade é um desafio. Vocês vão ser testados, vocês vão ser pressionados, vocês vão ser comparados. E é exatamente aí que esse conhecimento sobre si mesmo se torna essencial. Outro pensador, Sartre, dizia que somos condenados a ser livres. E isso pode ser só bonito, né? Mas também é assustador. Porque liberdade não é apenas poder escolher. É ter que lidar com as consequências da escolha. Vocês vão errar e tudo bem. Vocês vão acertar e isso também faz parte. Mas o importante é que cada decisão seja de vocês, não baseada apenas na expectativa dos outros, mas construída com consciência, com responsabilidade, com coragem. E se tem algo que eu espero que vocês levem desses anos, não é apenas conteúdo, não são apenas papers, não são apenas IAs, predicted grades e outras notas. É a capacidade de pensar, de questionar, de não aceitar respostas prontas, de olhar para o mundo e perguntar, isso faz sentido? Porque o mundo precisa urgentemente de pessoas que pensam, que reflitam, que não se acomodam. Eu vi isso em vocês, vi em debates, vi em dúvidas, vi até nos momentos de resistência. E acreditem, isso é valioso. Agora eu preciso dizer algo que talvez seja o mais importante desse discurso. Vocês marcaram a minha vida. Professores passam por muitas turmas, muitos alunos, muitas histórias, mas existem algumas turmas que ficam, e vocês ficam. Ficam nas lembranças das aulas, ficam nas conversas que ultrapassaram o conteúdo, ficam naquilo que não está em nenhum currículo. E é por isso que hoje, junto com a saudade, existe um sentimento muito maior que é orgulho. Orgulho de ver vocês prontos, ou quase prontos, né? Mais preparados, para que o que vem pela frente, porque ninguém está completamente pronto, né? Isso também faz parte. A vida não pede perfeição, a vida pede movimento. Então sigam com coragem para enfrentar os desafios, sigam com humildade para aprender o que ainda não sabem, sigam com firmeza para manter quem vocês são e, acima de tudo, sigam com humanidade, porque no final não é apenas sobre onde vocês vão chegar, é sobre quem vocês se tornam ao longo do tempo. E onde quer que vocês estejam, em outro país, em outra cidade ou aqui, saibam que existe alguém aqui que acredita em vocês, que torce por vocês e que sempre vai carregar um pedaço dessa trajetória. Muito obrigado por esses 3 anos. E mais uma vez, Deus abençoe todos e muita saudade.
Muito obrigado, Mr. Carlos Brito. Seniors, Olhem para a tela porque temos uma surpresa para vocês.
A convicção de que vocês vão.
Por favor, recebam ao pódio Senhor Augustin Bilalon
And Miss
e
Leticia
Senhora
Daza.
Letícia Daza.
Augustine is our Spanish teacher, and Ms. Daza is our deputy superintendent. Bem-vindos.
Buenas noches chicos. Hoy no celebramos solo una graduación, celebramos una historia poco común. Porque con ustedes empezamos hace 7 años. Yo comenzaba una vida aquí en Bahía y ustedes comenzaban el middle school. Yo era su principal. Y contraté a Agustín. En marzo de ese año, en 6º grado, llegó la pandemia. La escuela se transformó en una pantalla de Zoom. El silencio era incómodo y la frase más importante era, ¿me escuchan? Y aún así, ahí estaban. A veces sin cámara, muchas veces sin cámara, a veces sin audio, a veces desapareciendo, pero siempre volviendo.
Y sí, ese inicio fue caótico, pero inolvidable. A ver, estudiante X, haz la primera frase. Sí, ¿da para me oír? Sí, adelante. Hola, me llamo... Trabó. Conexión perdida y nosotros esperando como si fuera el final de temporada de una serie. O el clásico, profe, un momento, desaparece y vuelve con un azaí enorme, comiendo frente a la cámara. Y pensábamos, bueno, por lo menos volvió.
Pero no estaban solos. También habían familias detrás de esas pantallas, acompañando, ayudando, sosteniendo. Con ustedes y con nosotros se creó algo muy especial. Confianza, paciencia y comunidad.
Luego volvimos al colegio con mascarillas, sin vernos bien las caras, intentando aprender y enseñar así. Pero incluso ahí ya eran ustedes, resilientes, con humor, capaces de adaptarse a todo.
Poco a poco La normalidad volvió. Las risas llenaron las aulas. Y lo que empezó en virtual se volvió real.
Tan real que un día, en un pet shop, escucho a una estudiante, «Señor Agustín». Una estudiante viene hacia mí, feliz, contenta, y era la primera vez que nos veíamos. Ahí entendí algo, ya nos conocíamos, de verdad.
Después siguieron en middle school con Student Council, en JHS, y después llegó high school, el IB. Trabajos orales, deadlines, y no faltaron en todos esos años. ¿Y dónde están los zapatitos? A ver, ¿los tienen hoy? ¿Por qué no estás en clase? Pero Miss Daza, entre muchas otras cosas más.
Y ese clásico, voy a comenzar el internal assessment con tiempo suficiente.
La noche anterior.
Pero siempre encontraron la manera, crecieron mucho, no solo en tamaño, sino como estudiantes, como personas.
Y eso es lo que celebramos hoy. No solo que han alcanzado sus objetivos escolares, sino todo lo que superaron para llegar aquí. Su historia es resiliencia, es adaptación y sí, también es humor, incluso en los momentos difíciles.
Ahora les toca lo siguiente, y si algo nos han demostrado es que saben avanzar. Gracias por su esfuerzo, por su actitud y gracias a sus familias por caminar este camino con todos nosotros. Antonio Machado, poeta y profesor español, escribió: «Todo pasa y todo queda, pero lo nuestro es pasar. Pasar haciendo caminos, caminos sobre la mar. Caminante, no hay camino, se hace camino al andar». ¿Tienes la reclamación?
Ah, antes de terminar, where are my brigadiers? I'm still waiting for them. Okay.
Felicidades,
muy-
promoción. El mundo los espera, los queremos
mucho.
muchísimo.
Enhorabuena.
Thank you very, very much, Ms. Leticia Daza and Mr. Augustine. So I would like to explain the significance of the different honor cords that our students are wearing this evening. So students that have a cumulative GPA of an 85% are cum laude. The students who are wearing the white cord and have a cumulative grade point average of an 85% during their 4-year period in your high school careers are cum laude. Will you students please rise? Please be seated. The students who are wearing a red cord have a cumulative grade point average of a 90% or higher during their PASB high school careers and are magna cum laude. Will the students with the red cord please rise? Please be seated. The students who are wearing the golden cord have a cumulative grade point average of 95% or higher during their PASB high school careers and are summa cum laude. Students with the golden cord, please rise. Please be seated. In addition, students wearing the white stoles over their tunics are members of the National Honor Society, founded in 1921 by the Association of High School Principals in the United States. Selection is based on 4 criteria: academic achievement, leadership, service, and character. Will the NH members please rise? Please be seated. Also, students wearing the dark blue and white intertwined cords are part of the DECA Association. DECA prepares emerging leaders and entrepreneurs for careers in marketing, finance, hospitality, and management. In high schools and colleges worldwide, will the DECA members please rise? Please be seated. At PASB, all students undertake the rigorous IB diploma program curriculum and internal assessments. They are wearing light blue cords in recognition of their hard work and dedication. The students who took the IB exams will receive their final results in July. Will all of our IB-DP students please rise? Please be seated. We would like to thank the amazing job by this year's senior committee. These students have been involved in every aspect of school life and helped their colleagues to create unforgettable memories during their last senior year. Wearing the pink cord, will this year's senior committee please rise? Please be seated. Now we will hear messages from members of the class of 2026 who will present their senior addresses. We will begin with Mariana Costa and Vijay Kazula.
Dear staff, family, friends, and most importantly, our teachers. Before we begin, Mr. Isaias always reminds us to stay calm under stress. So we'd like to use this opportunity to take one last 3 good breaths. Please put your feet on the floor, place your hands on your lap, and follow our breathing. First breath in, hold, and out. Second breath in, hold, and out. Third breath in, hold, and out. I told you I could make them do it.
Sometimes I force my memory to reconstruct the first day of school, and when I do not remember finals, IB exams, grades, or new uniforms. I remember tiny hands holding on to their parents, scared of walking into the classroom for the very first time. And I remember moms and dads trying to smile, and today I imagine how hard they were trying to hide their tears, just as they may be trying to do right now.
Somehow, destiny chose exactly those little human beings to discover who they truly were over the next 16 years.
But we did not do all of this alone. There were always people taking care of our story.
Teachers who saw potential where we saw insecurity.
Who repeated explanations without losing patience.
Who believed in our abilities before we believed in them ourselves.
Because education was never only about subjects, tests, or report cards.
Education is also care. In middle school, games gave way to deeper conversations in the hallways. We began to understand that the school was our social ecosystem. Maybe that's why Ms. Julia's advisory was so highly sought after.
And then the world stopped. It was precisely during that period that we saw perhaps more clearly than ever, the greatness of the people who sustain a school.
Teachers reinvented classes overnight.
I think we can all agree that we still feel nervous when we remember Portuguese oral exams. But it will be impossible not to remember Pro Carmen every time we hear the word oxítona for the rest of our lives.
During the pandemic, we learned the truth that we will never forget. School is not a building. School is people. And when we returned to in-person classes, no longer used to a routine that once felt natural, our teachers supported us once again. It was not easy. And the number of times we lost Miss Jenny's 3 hearts makes that clear. But our teachers remained a constant force in our lives, refusing to give up on their mission.
Then came high school. It brought new challenges, greater responsibilities, and moments that tested us in ways we had never experienced before. But through every step, our teachers were there, reminding us that we are more capable than we imagined.
It was when we learned what it truly meant to be a filhinho and a nego velho.
And we got our first taste of what it meant to be an HL student with Mr. Pedro, who never stopped supporting our dreams, even when he had to leave to fulfill his own.
There is a concept put forth by Nassim Taleb called anti-fragility. It is the idea that certain things do not simply survive pressure, but actually become stronger because of it.
And yes, at times we felt as if the teachers were giving us plenty of stress. But this is what school is about, the ability to fall apart, rebuild, and keep growing.
In every exam, application, and IA, there was a teacher helping us put ourselves back together. Mr. Isaias, thank you for teaching us to challenge our own assumptions and sometimes our own intelligence in TOK.
Mr. Doug, thank you for putting up with that guy. You were a strong and unwavering presence in our lives, and you probably hold the record for fewest absences. We wish you a life with fridges filled with Coca-Cola.
Mr. G, you taught us that it is possible to be more than angry or sad. We hope the I Love Physics stickers stay glued onto the walls of the school forever.
Ms. Ramos, I'm sure you're an expert at writing library passes by now. Thank you for being so understanding and invested in our lives. We love your shows and reality TV recommendations, but forgive us if we don't stop an episode halfway through like you always did in class.
Miss Hava, you once told us that your dream school was Brown, but then you said that if you had gone there, you would have never met us. And I think this may have been one of the biggest lessons I've learned so far. Second choices, second gifts.
Susie showed us that books were never just stories, but representations of the world around us. Thank you for teaching us how language gives meaning to life. And Carlos, even though you constantly deny it, você é o IB. And our very own Forrest Gump, o contador de histórias. Thank you for sharing with us all of the best parts of your story.
Ms. Graci, thank you for celebrating every step of our journey as if it were yours, and for letting us sleep through topics 4 and 5.
Ms. Pietra, thank you for trying so hard with the experiments before class, and for always seeing us as much more than our grades.
Ms. McNew taught us many things, most importantly, that possession of any unauthorized materials are a breach of regulations. Thank you for continuing to cheer us on and for being present in our class, even when you no longer taught us English. And Mr. Gregg, your trivia games really helped us de-stress after exams. We may forget dates, we may forget textual evidence, but we will never forget Connect 4.
Miss Heather, you were never just a college counselor. Your office became a second home for many of us, and you helped pave the way for the futures we look forward to today. Miss Clarinha, know that your sweetness and deep love for the arts have left a mark in the school, even if only Marina had the privilege of being in your class.
Mr. John Jackson, let us know when John's Picolé's company opens. Thank you for all the interesting political debates in class and for being one of the coolest teachers in the school.
Miss Consul, our PE teacher, you have been taking care of our health since the start of our high school journey. We hope that today you are looking at us with the same love with which you look at the view at NER.
And to Senor Agustin, we will miss singing Agostinho Velhinho with full choreography. Our gossip sessions that somehow ended with, if you're going to gossip, gossip in Spanish. And hearing Ponte a trabajar every single class. But more than anything, thank you for always caring about us beyond academics. You joked with us, gave us reality checks when we needed them, and always wanted the best for us. A la Madrid.
Today, maybe we feel the same butterflies in our stomachs that we felt on that first day of school. But there is a huge difference. Now we are no longer alone, because we carry with us a little of the patience of a teacher who never gave up on explaining, and the care of the one who noticed a difficult day without us having to say anything. We carry our teachers who turned into friends and transformed ordinary hallways into our fondest memories. Now, as those same hands, no longer so tiny, prepare to hold their diplomas, we ask our classmates to carry with them the lessons that the professionals of the Pan American School of Bahia spent years teaching us, because those lessons will keep us connected to each other regardless of where we are in the world.
To our teachers, thank you for taking care of us for so many years. We hope that one day we can make each one of you proud. Thank you very much.
Now delivering a speech on activities in sports, we would like to invite Bruno Fontes and Thiago Carneiro to the podium.
Good night, dear parents, teachers, and athletes. Yes, athletes, because whether you realize it or not, the majority of us were part of the red and blue tournaments at some point.
And surely all of us participated in PE classes as well. But looking back now, it's crazy to realize how many firsts we've lived together. Our first friendship festival, our first tryouts as nervous ninth graders, our first pep rally, our first ISSL.
What started as simple school tournaments slowly became some of the most anticipated and best moments of our high school years.
From the courts and fields to the bleachers, even as they esquenta bancos, we celebrated everything the same way, screaming, "Oh, Chihuahua!"
And Minha Mãe Quando Eu Nasci, or even Andressa do Misto, like we were competing for first place every time.
We screamed our lungs out during cheers, survived the caloragens, and dealt with the nerve-wracking moments before the games. All for the 5-star NER breakfast, the 10 p.m. hot chocolates, and those awaited grau stops with invigorating food, imported candy, and maybe a stuffed toy to keep as a memory. And, of course, the annual ISSL crush that lasted exactly 4 days, which we never spoke to again.
Every single element made each season feel unforgettable in its own different way, especially because of the outstanding performances we witnessed throughout these years. During Varsity ASB Nationals, girls futsal finished in 4th place, while boys soccer won 3rd place, also among 16 schools. The girls soccer and futsal teams also reached 2 Final Fours in consecutive seasons, while the boys soccer also brought home 2nd place twice.
Special shout out as well to the boys basketball team for qualifying for the semifinals for the first time in PASB's history. And, well, to the volleyball teams, thank you for representing our school in tournaments like Jokopá and FEPS. As I was once a volleyball athlete, I'm glad both the boys and the girls were able to win at least one ISSL game before graduating.
And of course, rest in peace to the cheerleading club attempt. Maybe it would have worked if we only had to cheer for the novinhos during our first interclasse back in 8th grade.
Anyways, sports became something much bigger than just competition.
Because it was never really about trophies, medals, or scoreboards.
Sports taught us lessons we will carry for the rest of our lives.
To get back up after injuries.
To ask for help.
To keep going even after losing.
To understand that life, just like sports, will not always be fair, easy, or go according to plan. It can be frustrating.
And while we were busy living those moments, time kept moving. We've had our last tryouts, our last practice, our last game.
Have you realized we will never play one more game representing PASB?
Many of us will never even wear a school jersey again.
Soon, the routines that felt once exhausting, like training at AABB until 6 p.m., waking up early for games on Saturday and Sunday mornings, managing IB with practices,
and even the stress of making new jerseys every semester will become things we will miss more than we expect.
And time passed faster than we ever imagined. We became the seniors we used to admire when we were just 6th graders watching from the sidelines. The seniors who would make us freak out every time they got close when we were watching their intramural games.
And somewhere along the way, the relationships around us change too. Some of the people standing beside us today are people we never imagined becoming friends with. But sports brought us together. They created friendships outside of classrooms, grades, and group bubbles.
And now, many of us are about to meet new teammates, new classmates, and new people at universities far away from where we consider home, our school. But no matter where we go, part of us will always carry the essence of this place.
Because once you become a painter, that never really leaves you.
Everything you learned as a part of the team will carry on to the rest of your life, reflected on your personality and abilities.
And none of this would have been possible without the people who guided us through all of these years. To our elementary PE teachers, Tia Lu, Ms. Andrea, Ms. Katie, Ms. Nadia, and Mr. Sidney, thank you for making our first experiences so memorable throughout these years.
And a special thanks to Ms. Consul. We will never forget the fitness tests, the painful 10-mile runs, the annual up, down, one, the controversial swimming classes, Strava's formative grades,
and of course, the constant reminder of do not kick the volleyball balls.
And even during the pandemic, your online PE classes give us memories full of laughter and collective embarrassment that we will never forget. And to our coaches, Kleber, Mr. Sidney, Isabel, Fantasma, Tia Lu, and Bobby, thank you for believing in us and dedicating your weekends to tournaments and games.
And finally, to Tia Lu again. I'm truly grateful to have started and finished this journey with you, from my first PE teacher to my soccer coach and now my friend.
Thank you for teaching us lessons far beyond sports.
And for trusting both of us as captains, for pushing us when we were facing challenges and needed to be role models, and for helping us grow not only as athletes, but also as people.
Still, sports were only a part of what made these years unforgettable.
Our journeys with school activities started early on with talent shows where we forgot the lyrics and choreography on stage.
Spelling bees that felt terrifying at the time, becoming junior coaches, which back then felt like the coolest thing ever, and waiting all year for our own spotlight week in third grade.
Later came the International Festival, where we proudly represented different countries, DI, which somehow took us all the way to global finals.
And also our lovely reading buddies.
Then came the various extracurriculars that further taught us to leave our comfort zones and step into new spaces.
Through gut-wrenching MUNs with funny Correio Elegantes, insightful TED presentations, demanding NHS activities, CAS projects where we constantly supported each other's ideas and initiatives, and countless STUCO and senior committee meetings, we learned how to lead, inspire, and pursue solutions. Those experiences taught us skills we're about to use in real life very soon.
From morning announcements screaming P-A-P-A-N-P-A-N-T-H-E-R to NHS meetings during recess and weekend service projects, and to the daily discussions and chaos of playing the secondary challenge in the haunted house.
And honestly, God bless the bake sales.
We created experiences we had dreamed about since we were little, experiences that made us feel important, useful, and finally grown up.
Even the canceled Halloween party somehow became part of the legacy.
And now we're standing at the end of the beginning.
New demands, new opportunities, new risks, and new dreams are waiting for us. And because of PASB, we're ready for them.
So let every experience change you. Let it challenge you. Let it shape you. Because that's the hardest part of growing up, realizing you never know something is the last time until it's already over.
And maybe that is what makes all of this so hard to let go of. Because before we realized it, PASB stopped being just a school and became part of who we are. On behalf of the class of 2026, thank you.
Now addressing the community, we would like to invite to the podium Mariana Amedo and Eduardo Brito.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight.
There's a Japanese proverb that says, "It takes a village to raise a child." And when we think about our time at PASB, we realize that this school was never just a school.
And PASB was a fundamental part of this village.
A village that raised us.
For many of us, PASB has been a part of our lives for as long as we can remember.
For we have spent more time within the school walls than in our own bedrooms.
We spent more time with these people around us than we have spent with our own parents. So regardless of how impatient we are to start the next step of this journey, I believe that this moment can be described in one word.
Bittersweet. Because as soon as we walk out this door and start tracing our paths, our own separate ways, we will no longer be in this village where we felt as though we belonged.
A belonging that meant knowing that we would celebrate each other's victories as if they were our own.
Planning surprise birthday parties to skip class.
Showing up to intramural games, talent shows presentations.
Cheering on for college acceptances, musical theater performances, and every small win in between.
But it's also meant knowing that if a friend was crying after math HL or physics test, we had their back. Maybe not the answers, right? Because clearly none of us had those. But with a hug, a joke, and the reminder that life would somehow go on.
Our belonging was not limited to our wins, and we were just as proud of being Panthers and cheering for the futsal teams in the Final Four as we were cheering for when the girls volleyball won their one set. But as we move forward, we know PASB has also taught us much more.
We started learning with Ms. Leda and Dr. Seuss about all the places we'd go.
With Ms. Gabi and the junior coaches, we learned that the school values and strive to show them, for Panther Pride tickets, of course.
In middle school, we learned to find our own voices, to survive awkward presentations, group projects, changing friendships, and the first moments when we started to realize that school was feeling more a bit serious.
All that amidst the pandemic, might I add.
And finally, high school. We were taught to write academic essays, solve college-level math, right, Mr. Doug? Survive the IB, and somehow make it through deadlines we definitely should not have left for the night before they were due.
But beyond all that, we learned the value of giving because we know how it feels to be supported. And thankfully, we have been the beneficiaries of extraordinary generosity of spirit, time, and resources from everyone you see in this room, and many more beyond. And we are bound to remember all the times we needed a helping hand, how many people were willing to be there supporting us, and making sure our wildest projects would happen, all the way to the front gate with Seu França, with Chris, Wellington, Elival, Aurel, and all of the gatekeepers who know each of us by name.
To Andressa, Carla, Will, Van, and the entire canteen staff and kitchen staff who made us wait until exactly 10:10, no earlier than that, no matter how much we begged. But thank you for putting up with us. And of course, thank you for the kitchen staff for the famous frango empanado with purê de batata. To Luciano, Balota, Pete, Henricão, and all the maintenance and cleaning staff, shout out to Sapo, who would always guarantee that everything was spotless and in the right place for everyone. Thank you especially for helping us with the haunted house. We couldn't have it done without you.
Thank you for Ms. Grazi, Aninha, Tio Bruno, Jana, and Luisa, who eternalized some of our finest moments, and we took infinite pictures because this is not my good side. To Ms. Ana Paula and her whole team, who worked endlessly to make her events at our senior year remarkable, and all the school events happen, especially for not letting me crash out during the NHS Christmas campaign. Thank you. To Sinho and Ms. Blenda for making themselves available and eager to help us on our field day show. So long to the senior band.
To the principals and deputy principals for all your dedication in helping us succeed. And thank you for your patience with the absurdities, but we are sorry. The war against the Havaianas was just a losing battle.
To Pri, Tati, Chale, and everyone in the infirmary, thank you for always having the best tea for the worst headaches, and for pretending not to notice when our emergencies were perfectly timed with Miss Consta's class. Thank you to Jana and Gabi in the secretary. I'm sure you are sick of seeing our faces for early permission slips, and you guys keep the school running.
to the IT crew, who for always having the answer to our technical problems, and the most exciting classes, to the all PASBinha staff and the admin department, and to every single person that keep this place running, thank you all for the work you do behind the scenes.
To our teachers, the PAS community, and especially our parents and families, thank you.
Thank you for loving us through every version of who we are. The little kids who needed help tying their shoes, the middle schoolers who thought they knew everything, until the high schoolers who were tired, stressed, and dramatic, and overwhelmed, but still made it.
You have helped shape us into the people we are today. Thank you all for going above and beyond to support us in our crazy endeavors. And as my mom would say, your senior year looks more like a gincana. But all in all, we will leave. And with all these experiences we found here, we will create new communities.
We're gonna find our roommates,
We're gonna find our dorms
our classes.
and new clubs.
There might be corps, churches, and cooperatives. Eventually, there will be our children's school, which might not be PASB, but it will be a new community in which we will find warmth.
More than that, we will be helping create this human warmth that sustains us all. Reaches beyond false boundaries and moves through wider world to create something better.
But if we ever feel as though we don't belong,
Or forget how a village should look like to raise a child,
we can look back to this community over here, to this moment, to these people.
because we were given the blueprint of what community should look like.
So on behalf of the class of 2026,
Thank you for making PASB a home far from home.
At last, we will have Esther Santana and Luigi Farsani addressing the class of 2026.
Good evening, teachers, families, staff, and most importantly, the class of 2026. Thank you so much for being with us here today. We feel beyond excited, yet so sad to be here speaking to you all. Sad because we know this is the last time our faces will be sitting together in the same place, the same class, at once.
To our fellow graduates, we grew up. All we've ever wanted was to grow up. We grew up sharing endless laughter and inside jokes within the walls of our classrooms since 2010. We grew up anxiously waiting for the bell to ring at 3:15, for our lockers in 6th grade, for our paint fight, for the end of the IB, and finally, for our graduation. We grew up listening to story time with Miss Leda to now realizing that the moments we rushed through became the moments we'll miss the most.
In 9th grade, during Mr. Lucas' band class, we wrote a song called When Is It My Turn? At the time, we thought we were singing about growing up faster, about wanting our moment already, wanting freedom, graduation, college, and the future. And now, somehow, after all these years, it finally is our turn. Our turn to walk across the stage, our turn to leave the classrooms that watch us grow up, and our turn to become memories for the next student walking these halls.
But when we think about our class, we don't just think about grades or college applications or the IB exams. We think about the things only we could understand. The novinhos during interclasse, acting like it was the World Cup, when, in reality, we were just kids screaming in matching shirts. Juji's airheads, sometimes Miss Havas, sorry. The hackers in 4th grade, the salinha, the secondary challenges, ISSL, watching Jo play at the interclasse, performing at Carnapan, teasing Mr. G with AI edits. We know you love Carnaval. Playing domino or trying to play every single day, losing for 6th grade at the Gimpana, and going completely insane trying to convince the boys to participate in a dance.
Well, our senior class was definitely not the easiest. From wearing flip-flops when we were not supposed to the countless, just go, to leaving school earlier to have lunch in Baiano or Medieval, thank you, Souza, and sorry, Mr. Jeff, to the meeting that ended up canceling our senior skip day. Right, Esther McNew? Well, we definitely had ups and downs, right, boys and girls? And somehow, between all of that, between the chaos, the churrascos pós-finals, the laughs, the stress, the fights, the meetings, the memories, and the moments that felt so small at the time, we became a family. And we think that's what makes tonight so difficult. Because for the first time in our lives, we're standing at the edge of something completely unknown. After years of seeing the same faces every single morning, after years of growing up side by side, life is finally asking us to let go.
And now, suddenly, here we are. And tomorrow, June 4th, we are going to wake up after one of the biggest days of our lives. And our minds will immediately try to jump ahead again, to college, to careers, to the next milestone, the next achievement, the next version of ourselves.
Now we are supposed to be the new adults. Mistakes were made, and we can't turn back time to redo our regrets as much as we physically want to, because the clock only goes one way, and that's forward.
But before we do that, we ask all of you for one simple thing. Pause. Look around this room one last time. Look at the people who grew up beside you. The people who watched you become who you are. Class of 2026, thank you for being our family. It finally is our turn. Thank you.
Thank you. And now the seniors would like to offer you a review of the past 16 years of the class of 2026 through a video. Please turn your attention to the screen.
Retas é fácil fazer um castelo, com um lápis em torno da mão e um bidão e uma luva. E se faço chover com 2 riscos tem um guarda-chuva. Se um pinguinho de tinta cai num pedacinho azul de papel, num instante imagino uma linda gastrota voar no céu. Entre as nuvens, vem surgindo os nuvens de my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. He took me in his arms, I heard him say.
It is now my pleasure to present the Superintendent of the Pan American School of Bahia, Dr. Stephen Bigelow, to present the Peter M. Noel Award.
That was just a beautiful production. And I have to say, so I've been here 11 months right now, but this is, your class is really my first memory here. Well, I think of you every day when I see you wearing your Havaianas coming in. But beyond that, I very clearly remember my very first time here. It would have been November 2024. I was here for interviews. And, you know, it's kind of tough getting in and trying to figure out the lay of the land, figure out the community. And very quickly, I was put into a situation where I had to answer questions from students. And I still remember all 150 questions that Eduardo asked me at that. And just, they kept coming. And they were very, very good, I have to say. But this has been an amazing class. I'm very privileged to know you, and I'm so excited to see what you're going to do and accomplish. I know it's going to be great things. I'm actually not supposed to be up here speaking, I'm supposed to be presenting, but I just wanted to say that. Okay, so here we go. On behalf of the entire faculty of the Pan American School of Bahia, I'm very honored to present the Peter M. Noel Award. The Peter M. Noel Award is granted to an outstanding member of the senior class who demonstrates a proactive concern about the world around them, as well as possesses a positive attitude towards life and works diligently to promote good relations between their peers. The Peter M. Noel Award goes to Amy Santos Pereira. Okay. All right. You can stay up here. Yeah.
Congratulations, Amy. And now for the diploma presentation. I would like to invite Ms. Gianna Mesquita Cavalcanti, President of the Board, Ms. Roberta Rodriguez, Brazilian Program Director, and Ms. Dr. Stephen Bigelow to present the diplomas to the class of 2026. Oh, this is me. I went a little too fast. Our candidates for graduation must meet a rigorous set of requirements to earn the Pan American School of Bahia's high school diploma. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and school administration, I would like to certify as a secondary school principal that all the candidates who are about to receive their official high school diploma have fully met PASB's graduation requirements and all standards set by our accrediting agencies, the New England Association of Colleges and Schools. Their successful completion of these requirements allow us to confer upon them the title of high school graduate.
Nossos candidatos à graduação devem atender a um rigoroso conjunto de exigências para obterem o certificado de ensino médio da Escola Pan-Americana da Bahia. Em nome do Conselho Diretivo e da administração da escola, gostaria de certificar, como diretora do Programa Brasileiro, que todos os candidatos que recebem um certificado oficial do ensino médio hoje cumpriram plenamente todos os requisitos de graduação da Escola Pan-Americana da Bahia e também todas as normas complementares do Ministério da Educação e Cultura. Com todos esses requisitos cumpridos, podemos conferir-lhes o título de concluintes do ensino médio com todos os direitos e as honras que lhe foram conferidos. Ladies and gentlemen, our class of 2026 candidates for graduation. Will the front row please rise? M. Santos Pereira. André Luiz Bittencourt Garcês. Ana Maria Barreto Mesquita. Arthur de Azevedo Vidal. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Ms. Manise Melo, former board member and proud mother, to present the diploma to her son, Arthur Ogando de Melo. Arthur Stock Matos. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Pedro Lima, former board member and proud father, to present a diploma to his daughter, Beatriz Silveira Lima. Bernardo Monteiro Siquara. Bruna Mendes Fontes. Carlos André Marques do Nascimento Júnior. Carlos Henrique Queiroz Pena Filho. Diego Coutinho Alonso. Eduardo Souto de Brito. Esther Kislansky Regueira Santana. Felipe Faria Silva. Will the first row please be seated? Will the students in the second row please rise? Gabriela Rude de Paiva. Guilherme Brito Duder Peixoto. Henrique Castro Alves Fishman. Henrique Matias de Moraes Canedo. Isabela Hollenberg da Costa Lira. Jones Mateus Calizo Aranha de Sá. Juan Andrés Arevalo Lopes. Júlia Candes Barros e Silva. Juliet Bahia May Howard. Leonardo Kerkhoff de Góes. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Andrea Garziera, former board member and proud father, to present the diploma to his son, Leonardo Terto Garziera. Lisa Embaçaí, Bahia. Lorena Barnoevo de Azevedo Valadares. Lucas Queiroz Abud Filho. Will the second row please be seated? Will the students in the third row please rise? Luísa Duder Peixoto de Góes. Luísa Motim Farzoni. Macai Frederick Weber Almeida. Maria Carolina Costa Marques Leal Silva. Maria Clara Guimarães Pessoa. Maria Clara Neves Fonseca. Maria Eduarda Folkerts Pedreira Franco. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Ms. Marcela Lomanto, former board member and proud mother, to present the diploma to her daughter, Maria Fernanda Marques Lomanto. Maria Luísa de Jesus Soares Santos Lima. Maria Luísa Muni Gaspari. Maria Maltês de Almeida Tourinho. Mariana Franco Amado. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Vijay Gozula, former board member, to present the diploma to Mariana Galvão Cardoso Costa. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Ms. Manuela Coutinho, board member and proud aunt, to present the diploma to her niece, Marina Coutinho Araújo. Will the third row please be seated? Will the students in the back row please rise? Mateus Barreto de Araújo Barros. Mateus Pinheiro Ferreira. Mateus Tavares Souza. Miguel Lisboa Sendon Duran. Nina Lordelo Garbodini. Pedro Henrique Viana de Brito. Pedro Machado Sandoval. Pedro Vasconcelos Cordeiro. Pietra Migliavaca Jorge Santos. Rafael Mendes Khrushchevsky. Rafaela Dias Bastos. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Ms. Alessandra Moraes, former board member and proud mother, to present a diploma to her son, Tiago Farias de Moraes Carneiro. Tiago Wise Dufour. At this time, I would like to invite to the stage Mr. Vijay Gozula, former board member and proud father, to present a diploma to his son, Vijay Nanda Maya Gozula. Will the back row please be seated?
Dear faculty, staff, families, and graduates, or soon-to-be graduates, as secondary principal, it has been my great pleasure to help guide these wonderful students throughout their high school journey at PASB. It was 4 years ago that we started this journey together when they were freshmen, and I was beginning my first year as your principal. Many of them were still in braces, some were much shorter than they are now, and all of them were just beginning to imagine what high school would become. But even then, there was something special about this group. They were cohesive. They supported one another. They had very few conflicts among themselves. And whenever they came to my office, it was rarely alone. Whether they had a complaint, they had many, an idea, or a carefully planned proposal, they usually came united. Sometimes I admired their leadership. Sometimes I wondered who organized this meeting. It was this same togetherness as they began planning their senior events in the middle of their junior year. And of course, when they somehow orchestrated the 100-day countdown to graduation lunch outside of school without my permission. I may not have approved of the process, but I have to admit the organization and cohesiveness was impressive. And it is this togetherness that I hope you never lose. As you go out into the so-called real world, you'll meet many new people. Some will become genuine friends, and some may not. But I hope you always remember that you can count on each other. And remember this, the old cliche, maybe we can say it together. Once a Panther, always a Panther. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2026 and the PASME administration would like to thank you for celebrating with us tonight. In just a few minutes, we invite you to join us for refreshments following the ceremony downstairs at the NPR area. And graduates, don't forget your gown, cords, cap to return to Miss Jana in the music room, and also pick up your new yearbook. Will the class of 2026 please rise? To the class of 2026, I ask that you take the tassel in your hand and move it to the right side of your from the right side to the left side of your cap. This act signifies that you have officially graduated from the Pan American School of Bahia, joining the ranks of all the alumni who have came before you in PASB's 65-year history. And now for the moment we have all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the graduates of 2026. You may now throw your caps in the air. Congratulations.